So the Grammys are supposed to be the biggest night in music, where artistry, impact, and excellence get their moment. But if you've watched the Grammys for more than 5 minutes, you know that's not always what happens. Over the years, the Recording Academy has made some decisions that left fans confused, angry, and genuinely shocked. And here's the thing. These wins actually change careers, shift narratives, and alter music history forever. So today, we're diving into the most controversial Grammy wins of all time. Some caused immediate outrage, others only look completely insane in hindsight, and some are still being debated decades later. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're probably going to be mad all over again about at least one of these. Let's kick things off with literally the only time the Grammys ever took an award back, the Milli Vanilli disaster.
And the best new artist is Milli Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli wins Best New Artist. At the time, they were absolutely everywhere. Their album was crushing it commercially. Hit singles were dominating radio and MTV, and to the public, they seemed like the perfect pop duo. But here's the plot twist. Everything was fake. Later that year, the truth came out.
Girl, you know, it's girl, you know, it's girl, you know, it's girl, you know, it's girl, you know.
I wanted to die. It stopped. Girl, you know, it's girl, you know, it's girl. 80,000 people. Girl, you know, it's girl, you know. You know, I couldn't repeat it 15 times. Girl, you got obvious. So I stopped, I panicked, I ran off stage.
It's girl, you know, it's girl, you know.
Julie Brown, who used to work for MTV, ran after me. I didn't want to go back to stage. I had enough. 80,000 people waiting. I said, I have enough. I quit.
Rob Pilatus and Fab Morvan weren't actually singing on their records. Studio singers recorded the vocals while Milli Vanilli just lip-synced and looked good doing it. When the scandal broke, the backlash was immediate and absolutely brutal.
There's a sour note in the music world tonight with the revelation that pop duo Milli Vanilli faked their song.
The Recording Academy did something they've never done before or since. They took the Grammy back, stripped it away completely.
We wanted to be stars. We want to get up on top. So suddenly this guy gave us a chance, so we took it. He gave us a little bit of money, $4,000 advance each. This was for me. This was Paris, New York, and London in one night.
They gave back the Grammys. Their careers were over.
Overnight, Milli Vanilli went from pop stars to cultural punchlines. Record label dropped them, music pulled from shelves, careers obliterated. And tragically, Rob Pilatus died of a drug overdose in 1998 at just 32 years old. Producer Frank Farian tried to defend it, telling the Washington Post that it was an art form and the fans were happy with the music. But Fab Morvan later reflected, we went from being these loved characters to being laughed at and ridiculed. Fans were furious, destroying albums, demanding refunds, filing fraud lawsuits.
We're just trying to sue to get everybody to get their money back.
Billboard called it the biggest lip-syncing scandal in pop history, and NPR labeled it the Grammys' greatest embarrassment.
And the best new artist is... Come on. Christina Aguilera!
Christina Aguilera beats Britney Spears for Best New Artist. On paper, this makes sense. Christina had a massive debut year, a powerhouse voice, multiple hits. But here's the context that matters. Britney Spears had literally reshaped pop culture by this point. Baby One More Time wasn't just successful, it was a complete cultural reset. Britney wasn't just another artist, she was the moment. So when Christina's name got called instead, fans immediately saw it as a snub, especially since Britney lost multiple major categories that night despite her overwhelming cultural dominance. This win basically launched years of comparisons between the two, often unfairly pitting them against each other. And while Christina absolutely deserved her success, many people still look back and say this was the first clear sign that the Grammys don't always reward cultural impact. Britney was reportedly heartbroken, with her sister Jamie Lynn later revealing she was devastated. Her whole life had been dedicated to winning that.
She was up for her first Grammy. It was her and Christina. Like, Britney was clearly the bigger star of that year. She'd worked her ass off. And she's like, there, she lost. She was really like, I don't ever want to go to the Grammys. She was heartbroken about that because, I mean, her whole life had been dedicated to winning that.
Christina addressed the rivalry years later, saying, I remember being hurt by these commercials on MTV, pitting Britney as the good girl and me as the bad girl. Fans were in complete shock. Online forums exploded with Britney supporters expressing outrage. Social media posts still highlight this rivalry today, with users debating Christina's vocal abilities versus Britney's sales dominance. Publications like Bustle called it an unfair example of pitting women against each other. Speaking of cultural impact being completely ignored, let's talk about 2014. Macklemore and Ryan Lewis win Best Rap Album for The Heist, beating Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, M.A.80 City. Almost immediately, this became one of the worst Grammy decisions ever. Kendrick's album was widely praised as a modern hip-hop masterpiece, a deeply personal cinematic journey through Compton that pushed the entire genre forward. Even Macklemore knew he didn't deserve it. After the ceremony, he posted a text message he'd sent to Kendrick, literally apologizing and saying Kendrick got robbed. While some people appreciated the humility, others felt it actually made things worse. It highlighted the uncomfortable racial dynamics of a white rapper beating a black artist whose album is now considered one of the greatest of all time. To this day, whenever the Grammys get accused of not understanding hip-hop, this moment gets brought up. Macklemore's text read, "You got robbed. I wanted you to win. You should have. It's weird and sucks that I robbed you." Kendrick graciously responded, "That text surprised me, but Macklemore is a genuine dude."
Did you ever feel any way about him posting the text message or anything like that?
Yeah, I think it was uncalled for, to be 100 with you. When he sent it to me, I was like, okay, you know, I could see him feeling that type of way because he a good dude. But I think for confirmation from the world, you know, he probably felt like he had to put it out there, which he didn't need to do. But they don't take nothing away from him anyway because I know where his heart is at. He cool. He a cool dude, but, you know, sometimes the card folds like that when you...
But fans weren't having it. Social media erupted with calls of robbery and debates about racial bias. Rolling Stone noted that the apology set a bizarre expectation for future winners, while the BBC highlighted how the apology itself underscored the controversy. Now here's a completely different kind of controversy. In 1991, Sinéad O'Connor won Best Alternative Music Performance for I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got. Her response? She basically said, "Thanks, but no thanks." Sinéad had been openly trashing the Grammys, calling them materialistic and disrespectful to real artistry. So when she won, she didn't show up to the ceremony and later refused the award entirely. This wasn't some publicity stunt. Sinéad consistently rejected industry institutions, and this moment cemented her as someone who wouldn't compromise her beliefs for validation. While it wasn't controversial in the wrong winner sense, it was controversial because it directly challenged whether the Grammys even mattered. In her letter to the Recording Academy, O'Connor wrote, "As artists, I believe, our function is to express the feelings of the human race, to always speak the truth and never keep it hidden."
The reason that I wanted to pull out was because I believe very much that the music industry as a whole operates mainly, it's concerned mainly with material success, and a lot of artists I think, are responsible for encouraging the belief among people that material success will make them happy. And I think one of the ways that the industry encourages commercial success and materiality is by having award ceremonies which very much honour those who have achieved material success rather than people who have told the truth or who've done anything to pass information to people or to inspire people or to, you know, just be truthful about anything. You know what I mean?
She also wore a Public Enemy's logo in solidarity with their Grammy boycott over the refusal to televise the rap category. Some fans called it admirable and praised her solidarity. Others saw it as unnecessarily defiant. The Los Angeles Times reported it as the first Grammy refusal in history, and Entertainment Weekly later called it a bold no to the entire industry. In 2017, Adele won Album of the Year for 25, beating Beyoncé's Lemonade. The moment her name was announced, you could feel the tension in the room, and then Adele did something almost unheard of. During her acceptance speech, she apologized to Beyoncé. She said she couldn't possibly accept the award, that Lemonade was monumental, and called Beyoncé an artist who makes her want to be better. While Adele technically kept the Grammy, her speech became the real headline. For many fans, this confirmed what they already believed, that Beyoncé had once again been unfairly passed over for Album of the Year, especially considering Lemonade was a genre-defying, politically charged, visually ambitious work that redefined what a pop album could be. And this wasn't even Beyoncé's first snub. Adele's full speech was raw. "I can't possibly accept this award. Artist of my life is Beyoncé. And this album to me, the Lemonade album, was just so monumental. Backstage, she was even more direct.
I felt the need to say something was my album of the year is Lemonade. She is my icon of my whole life. For her to be making such relevant music for that long of a period and still affect all of us, it's not just me. You know, there's friendships that I have that are completely defined on us being complete Beyonce stans, you know, like I don't take any fucking shit when it comes to anyone not liking Beyonce. You can't be in my life, you know? You simply can't. So I felt the need to do it. Also, I feel like it was her time to win. My view is kind of what the fuck does she have to do to win Album of the Year? That's also how I feel.
Fans saw this as confirmation of bias, with social media posts calling Lemonade too black for Grammy voters. CNN asked, is racism why Adele beat Beyonce? While Time called it a real problem. The Guardian praised Adele's speech as a frank admission of privilege. Now for a completely chaotic moment from 2004. Evanescence wins Best New Artist, beating 50 Cent. If you remember the early 2000s, you know exactly why this caused drama. 50 Cent had one of the biggest debut years in hip-hop history with Get Rich or Die Trying. The man was literally unavoidable. Radio, clubs, charts, everywhere you looked.
Oh, what did I do? This is my first time. Thanks, 50.
50 Cent did not take this loss gracefully. He publicly trashed the Grammys, dismissed Evanescence's music, and added this moment to his impressively long list of industry grudges.
What you saw from me in 2004 was the Grammys. When I went up, Evanescence won the Best New Artist, and it was like, sold 12 million records. It's the largest debut in hip-hop album to date, and I was overlooked, and I still don't have a Grammy. It's been 13 nominations. Because I wrote The Harsh Realities, I've been overlooked completely.
I didn't receive a lot of awards according to the success of the music. You know, like, you got the largest debut hip-hop album, you don't got no Best New Artist trophy. Best New Artist, they gave that shit to Evanescence. Can you find fucking Evanescence? Mike, I ain't seen the Evanescence since that night, Mike. Since the night they gave him the trophy.
While Evanescence definitely had a massive year with Fallen, many people felt the Grammys had once again failed to properly recognize hip-hop's cultural dominance. Honestly, this feels like a preview of a pattern we've seen over and over again. Amy Lee joked in 2023, 50 Cent hates my guts. Fans called the decision a joke, and there are still posts about 50 Cent's reaction during Evanescence's acceptance speech. Publications covered 50 Cent's ongoing annoyance, with some describing the whole situation as chaotic. Looking back at all these moments, the controversy isn't really just about individual wins and losses. It's about what the Grammys choose to value: commercial success versus artistry, cultural impact versus technical preference, safe choices versus bold statements. And that's exactly why every single year, no matter who wins, there's backlash. Because the Grammys aren't just handing out trophies, they're literally writing the official story of music history. And depending on who you ask, they've gotten that story very, very wrong.